Hi everyone, here's what's bothering me today. The high-end grocery store, Whole Foods, which is owned by Amazon and therefore Jeff Bezos, is in a lot of hot water here in Canada because apparently they prohibited their employees from wearing these, claiming that they were a political statement and therefore not allowed. Needless to say, the backlash was swift, and Amazon reversed its position almost immediately. Or Whole Foods, I guess, reversed their position almost immediately. But that still hasn't stopped all the outrage here in my nation. However, there's something else I want to touch on a bit about this. So while I am definitely mad about Whole Foods banning this because they say it's a political statement, which it really isn't. It's a symbol of remembrance. And I'll talk about the complexity about Remembrance Day on Remembrance Day. But for now, I just want people to realize that a company tried to ban a symbol, a national symbol of remembrance because they thought, oh, well, it's a political statement. Which means, on the one hand, they definitely need to get their act together in terms of having a smart and sensible policy with some level of breathing room. And apparently, and this seems to have flown under the radar, the employee who worked at Whole Foods who came forward with this story, they felt that they had to withhold their name because they feared reprisal from their company. So what does that say about the internal working culture at Whole Foods here in Canada? What does that say about their management? So that seems to have gone completely under the radar, and that's definitely part of what's bothering me today. Here's another part of this whole debacle that's bothering me today. A lot of the coverage also seems to make emphasis on the fact that Whole Foods, this American company, we have an American telling Canadians what to do. Why the fuck does it matter? Why the fuck does it matter if it's an American company or a British company, Chinese company, or a Canadian company? Every year there definitely seems to be some kind of poppy controversy, but for some reason in this instance they're really hammering the whole American thing. Why? Why does that need to have emphasis? Why can't it just be this company did this shitty, thoughtless, reprehensible thing? Why does the American aspect need to be forced in there? Ultimately, at the end of the day, this is what I find most bothersome. Is not just the whole they wanted to ban a symbol of remembrance, like go to hell, but the fact that some of these other nuances to the story are getting lost when they should be evaluated and talked about. It's important to also talk about, hey, this worker had to come forward to the news anonymously because they feared worker reprisal. Why aren't we talking about that? On top of, okay, so you're banning a symbol of remembrance? Fuck you. And you're also making it so that people in your workplace feel that they can't speak out lest they face reprisals, which I'm pretty sure is illegal. Like, what the hell? That should be as equally infuriating and damning of Whole Foods and Amazon. And I'm tired of people still supporting Whole Foods and Amazon and acting like, oh, well, it's just so convenient. Just because something is convenient does not mean it should be accepted, because that kind of thing will have a very real impact on society. As we are seeing right now, Amazon is having a negative impact on workers, culture, and society. Whole Foods is having a negative impact on workers, culture, and society. And it's high time that we evaluate this and talk about it instead of just ranting about the one obvious thing and actually stop and think about the whole structure and have that make us even angrier than we are at the idea of banning a symbol. But we aren't doing that. And no one else seems to be taking just a pittance of time and evaluating on top of the absurdness of trying to ban a poppy, but also making such a hostile work environment and taking such glaringly inappropriate steps and fostering a culture and a problematic cultural imposition on the rest of us. It's high time we start looking at the bigger picture, but we apparently aren't, and that is what's bothering me today.